Quiet.
Host Isaiah, and we are back for the first time, actually, because this isn't Bounce Check. This is the BB Blackout, my first one I'm doing. Very excited to have all these crazy podcasters here. It's going to be a great time. And, we still got some people on the way, but this is going to be great. This is going to be a fun vibe, just to start getting everybody in. Of course, from Silent Podcast area, we got Josie in. Josie, what's going on? What's the vibe?
I'm excited to be here. We have some great panelists to just shoot some shit. I'm excited. I've watched a lot of you on your separate platforms, so I'm actually really honored to be with all of you today. There's some people not here right now, but all of you. So I'm excited to shoot some shit.
All right. I got some of my other coworkers. I got Mari and Chappelle. RHAP, what's going on?
Oh, we get the joint introduction, Chappelle.
Yeah.
I think that
I'm giving everybody. Listen, we're going in conglomerate.
It's good. It's good. Glad to be here.
Mari said, "I get my own thing."
My name, my own introduction. Thank you. No. Glad to be here. Glad to collaborate with so many great Black BB podcasters, and just to talk about nothing really. We just gonna get into it. I'm excited.
Okay.
Yeah, me too, man. Thank you for having me. You call me your coworker, but I do work for you on Solid Podcast as well sometimes, you know what I'm saying? But whatever, I see where I stand. But yeah, I'm so happy to see y'all. I was like, man, y'all so talented and almondy on here. This is gonna be a good time.
All right. We also got one half of the Reality Kingdom. We got Pharaoh in the building. We're not going to argue today. What's going on, Pharaoh?
No, we might. But hopefully we don't. I'm feeling good. Thank you so much for having me. This is so just wonderful to be here with the Blacks. I love it. And I'm real giggly, so if I'm giggling this whole time, hey, that's just gonna happen.
Boots down, hero.
Boots down,
we also got another duo. We got Ahu all gonna be there. We got Eric and we got Tracy. What's going on, guys?
Hey, what's up? So glad to be here with y'all. I love to see Black, brown, beautiful faces, and we don't have any restraints, so we can say what we want to say. My favorite thing to do.
It's like a group chat, like our podcast. We love that we can talk freely, be ourselves, our authentic selves, and not have to worry about holding back. And it's just great to be a part of something so monumental, I think, in my opinion. So great to be here.
All right. We also got one of Big Brother's best reporters out here. We got Nicole Weir from Black by Reality Podcast. Nicole, what's going on?
Hey, thank you so much for that. I try. I'm excited because on the Black by Reality podcast, I'm just doing excerpt interviews. I would love to have more commentary. So I'm ready to just speak my mind here and on all these house guests and all the messy, somewhat bad gameplay we talk about. Going on 100 days.
It's crazy.
Oh my God.
I hope they never do this again.
Yeah, it's time to wrap it up.
Ever.
Quadruple eviction tonight.
Right.
Agree. Today.
And then we also got one of Big Brother's best live feed updaters. We got Kayla Fro. Kayla, what's going on?
What's going on, Isaiah? Thank you so much for inviting me. I'm super excited to be surrounded by all of this Black excellence today. I have personally watched content from all of you guys this season. I think you guys are all wonderful, and I'm super excited to talk about this messy ass season we have.
All right. Well, like I said, we have a couple people running late, but they'll pop in when they can. There's a lot of people in this one. I couldn't invite everybody, but shout out to my other RHAP Blacks. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to shout out to Chantel. Reality Realness. Chantel, she couldn't come tonight. Unfortunately, she had work, but shout out to her. Entertainment Color, shout out to y'all. Shout out to Kamisha Reviews and OTH Podcast and anybody else that I forgot. But let's get into it. There's a lot to talk about, obviously. There's a whole lot of games, strategy, all that mess. But first and foremost, obviously, this is a 100-day season. I forget what day we're on at this point. I'm sure one of y'all know.
A lot.
Yeah. What's the vibe with
82?
BB25 right now?
83,
Like what's
83.
going on with the 83 days that we've seen so far?
Y'all ain't tired? Yeah, y'all ain't tired, right? Y'all tired?
Is I'm
tired.
Okay, all right. Just get a temperature check on that one, Isaiah. I think
Tired.
it's kind of slow, y'all. It's kind of
Yeah.
it's running
Minus the
stale.
kinda.
The storyline has run stale.
Yeah.
Do y'all feel like it's because of the length, or do y'all feel like it's because of what's happening, or both of them?
I
A
think
mixture
it's
of both.
Players.
Yeah, I think it's both because like we normally get a drop off near like the mid to end game, but I think the problem with this season was the season started out so strong with so much gaming, with so much like going on, that when we started to get the decline, it just made it even more obvious than normal seasons. Because I guess you would say like technically on normal seasons, this would kind of be the general, you know, march to the end type thing. But for this one, it feels like even slower, combined with the 80 some days already in there with so and so many to go, to one person winning all of the competitions, to just like people not being able to do anything about it. It just this season's been ground to a halt for like so many times.
I honestly think the momentum was halted because of that zombie week. Because we were like full steam ahead. And if it wasn't for zombie week, I feel like the momentum would have stayed there, and the energy that we had going into that week, it just killed that.
Don't do that no more.
I think part of it is to do with production's like organization from the season. I think 100 days, I was personally excited for it because I do love Big Brother. I enjoy the show. And so extra days to watch my favorite show sounded great to me. But I think production fails to prepare themselves in order to take on such a big period of time. I think they wanted to strike big with their 25th season. And I think there's a lot of lack of disorganization that led to it. I think if you're going to cast people, even if they're recruits, make sure they have some type of common sense, because a lot of them don't have common sense.
Talk about it.
And if you don't have common sense, how are you going to strategize in a game that's 100 days? Hello, like there are people on the cast, and by people I mean one singular person, who is running circles and can't really do much anymore because no one who can strategize is left. Like they're gone. So I think that had to do with that. I think some people getting ejected from the game played a big part in that too, and the decision of keeping the first eviction. I just think they were just disorganized overall.
Real quick,
I do think there needs to be like a little bit of balance, though, because I think so many of these house guests being bad, it can be entertaining. I just think for 100 days they literally plan to just stall. Like let's face it, the zombie thing was stalling.
It messed up the whole week. Oh my god. I got PTSD when I see zombies now.
Yes. The reversing of Jag's eviction was stalling. Like, why didn't we just start off with more house guests and actually let someone go home every week? That would have been so much more interesting.
Like I said, I still want to know who the 18th house guest was, because there was one, y'all. There was.
Stop that.
No.
Yo, real quick. I just want to say shout out to Tiffany. Tiffany, what's going on? Real team.
Hey.
Hi, everybody. Look at all these beautiful faces.
Hey.
Thank you for the invite.
Of course. Sorry
I'm late.
Nah, you good. Listen, we all good. But ultimately, just wanted to add on top of that note, I think I don't know what's going on. Like, we had season 25 at this point, and like I feel like the show is constantly like doing things that, like, you know, it's different, it's innovative, but I don't think they think of like the repercussions that like can come with some of these things. Looking at Jag right here, you know, with the back-to-back HOH and everything. So you know, I'm really like half in, half out with it. Like, you know, I like the new stuff, but don't go a little too crazy with it. Like a double veto with like invisible HOH was a little too much. It's just like, it's a mess overall. You know, it's killing the second half of the game where the first half was really like exciting and fast paced and everything, you know? So,
but also I think they didn't account like psychologically what 100 days in that house could do to people, because people are cracking, and I do not blame them. I could not imagine 100 days in a house with people you do not like. Maybe Tiffany can give us some thoughts on that.
That is an extremely long time. I lasted 71 days. I felt like I could have stayed longer. Our season was 85, 86 days. 100. This season is draining me. Like, I'm serene to it. Like, whatever. When is it over?
Right.
Yeah. Exactly.
The three is done. She
literally was like,
nobody told her beforehand that this is not.
Well, Rachel told her.
If she can say it, she'll come. If she can say it, she'll come out and be like, "Yeah, I hate Big Brother."
Oh yeah.
She probably would never want to hear
100%.
Big Brother ever again.
Ever.
She's like, "Yeah, I hate that."
I really knew she was done when she was like, "What? I need to be in the pool for 2 hours." She's like, "I don't want to drown," but she was like, "Wait, maybe that won't be so bad." That's insane.
All right. So I guess we could start talking about some of these players, like individually. What do we think of like their game so far? Things that they've done right, wrong, their winning chances, and all that. So we could just start with
Corey.
the
Go. So anyway, let's talk about.
He's just waiting.
On to the next. He said, we talked about
all
that.
right,
Okay,
what's up, Corey? What's going on?
I'm just joking, but you just. Man, people real sensitive this season about their faves, like the AmeriCorey. Look, and I'm part of the Serena Mafia over there. Okay, so I too crazy, but the AmeriCorey's, the moment you say his name, it better be you better be saying praise after that, or you about to get
these fans got their names tatted on their back at this point.
Right? I said, God dang,
it's a lot.
You know him, and that's your real friend. Like, dang.
Is that your friend? Is that your friend?
All I said is they didn't win the challenge. Why you all up in my business? You trying to dox me or something like that? Damn.
All right.
Yeah.
I've been at war, man. I've been on the front lines.
You know, and we've like the Cerise stands, Blue got stands out here too.
Blue
Cameron fans were like, we're there for a hot second. It's like there's just more tribalism this season, just because I mean, these players are rootable. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is a pretty good cast. It's just a whole bunch of dumb twists
Foolery
that are kind of like really messing with it, and dumb competitions that are like really messing with it. So I wasn't really surprised that everybody had different faves. I am surprised at like the vitriol levels that it's getting, though. It's like, y'all, like, I can say that I like so and so, and I can say that I dislike the game moves of somebody else without it being like death threat, you know, on either side. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's really not that serious. That's the weird level that it's been all season, and I'm like, what happened? Because I get last year we were all united behind Taylor, whatever. But even the year before, like with the cookout and with Tiffany and them, like it was never this bad. So I'm just like, I've just been blocking people. I've been looking at people like sideways, because I'm like, yes, I'll say something this way. Then I'll say something this way too. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it is just so funny. Somebody confused me for an AmeriCorey stand at one point because of something I said about Jag. I was like, you don't know who you're talking to. Like, it's just so funny to just look at the game from all of these perspectives, and like not take it to like such a like weird level. It is astounding this season.
They don't want another black winner. That's all it is.
Okay.
I mean,
that's what it's feeling like.
I mean, here's the thing. I just feel like it was never that serious to begin with, regardless. Like, the parasocial relationships is a little scary. These people don't know you. These people, we don't know them either. Yes, we can watch them on live feeds, but it's an aspect of themselves. Like, they're playing a game, so it's not entirely who they are. And I think when people are commenting, I think people get confused when you're saying an opinion based off the game versus when you're saying something to root for someone, and when you're just completely obsessed with someone. Like, I can one day say, I'm not fucking with the Corey America. They're bad for each other's game. They suck. And then next week I can be like, I want an America HOH. Like, you can't be flexible. You can adapt. This is a game where people adapt, and you might change your mind as well. So I just feel like it's this weird ass environment that we can't just like, I mean, I'm always going to say what I want to say. I don't care who the fuck you are.
There you go.
I'm jealous of that.
I will say what I say.
I'm so jealous, y'all.
I don't care
what y'all want to say. I cannot.
I cannot either.
I can't. Oh my gosh, she put an emoji.
They stay on your neck.
They do.
It got so bad because
This
I'll tweet something and be like, oh, like I realized like Corey or America or Blue or anyone did certain things. If someone like got so deep, like, oh, he's a failed rapper, look at his SoundCloud. I'm like,
that was funny.
Damn.
Good laugh that day.
savage. That's like savage. Like, goddamn.
next level. Next level.
That's wild. Y'all getting wild.
I had a good laugh. I had to switch to my burner to retweet that one. I said, "Damn, Isaiah, they ate
Yeah, I believe it. I believe it.
Name's Johnny Bravo.
But that's the thing is like, are we dealing with logical people or are these like 14, 15, 16-year-olds?
These are grown folks.
Some of these people are
they
grown
adults.
All 40.
Oh, I'm
Some
sorry.
of these people are 40 and crazy.
Grown adults.
Definitely.
Miserable.
With cats. So cats sitting on their lap, not doing nothing.
Arguing with nobody at home, watching me, tweeting me from a pissy mattress and 17 cats with chipped up paint on the wall.
In the basement.
I don't really care.
That's what it is.
With the trash piled up to their knees.
I'm not doing that. Talking about I gotta turn around just to get out of here. I'm not doing that. I'm not. I don't care.
But so seriously though, talking about some of these players though, so we can go off of the. I hate to go into this because we were just talking about these, but the two people on the block, we can start with with Blue because if I say America, someone's gonna try to come after me.
Oh, stop it!
We're not about to do that.
Don't call her.
I
don't even call her Blue no more. I just call her Black because apparently
You're lucky I don't have
that's what she's aiming for.
privileges because that would have got you back to the green room.
That's what she aiming for, y'all. How Blue transformed like that in the diary room? How that work?
Down, sister.
It's probably she got a
the same way Jag conformed when he be in the room with black people.
Talk about it.
Get up.
You see it
Yo,
too?
motherfucking yo ass.
What you gonna do? Starting to sound like Aaron a little bit. What you gonna do?
Yeah,
I'm crying. That's crazy.
What you gonna do, girl?
What you gonna do, girl?
Blue's reception has been so weird to me for somebody who's like
Up and down.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
for
like
somebody
the
who
game.
is just like giving like spacey showmance, girl, she gets a lot of vitriol, and I get it because of like some of the stuff that she says about America and how they have that like weird back and forth between the two of them. I'm just like I think she's just one of those players to me that I laugh at her. I just find it funny because she's so
for sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like
I can't laugh because it gets on my nerve. This whole season is full of terrible gameplay.
It
and
is.
Blue always comes with another terrible move. It's like being a
Back to
Lions
back.
fan. I can never be excited. It's the minute I think something good might happen, one of them
She flipped
comes
the
with a
script.
dumbass move and lets me down again every time.
Yep.
Yes, so I get it about Blue because I'm so tired of all the dumbass gameplay. Like she said what? She did what? She told who what?
Yeah, I guess when you
Blue
don't have
is
other
real
people to
online.
balance it out with good gameplay, it's just annoying.
Yeah.
Serena be trying to help that baby. She be trying to help her.
They do try.
So we trying to help everybody. She can't help everybody.
And they don't
She can't-
listen.
She can't get them all to the final.
I'm
two.
looking
She
at
The
tried.
foster mom.
I
Yes.
think
Exactly.
the issue with Blue is that she's low-key suffering from delusionalism. She's sipping the Raven Kool-Aid, and I fear that it's actually uncurable at this point because last week or 2 weeks ago when we were podcasting on like Bounce Checks, I was saying, you know, the reason why she doesn't believe that Jag is the invisible HOH is because Jag getting rid of Blue is actually the dumbest move ever. So to her, it's like there's no way that my number one ally is gonna put me up. No, Jag is also dumb. I'll get into him later,
dumb.
but
That's why his name is
There are a
Scarecrow.
lot of dumb people.
But
He
I refer to him as Scarecrow.
He was the first dummy. He is the dumbest. I don't
The
know what
original.
competitions
Number
he
one.
won.
The OG dummy.
yeah,
That's why
yes,
he got
guaranteed
voted out.
dumb.
Scarecrow, because he don't have a brain. That's what I call him.
Oh my god.
and so when it comes to Blue, like in that retrospect, I'm like, oh, she just doesn't know because it's actually a dumb move. But then he tells her, hey, I'm the HOH. I put you up. I was actually targeting you. And she smiles in his face and she's like, oh, it's all good. You ain't putting my ass on the block.
Ever.
Not good. It will never be good. And I would have to have a grudge against him automatically. And the fact that she is okay, like the fact that he goes, I'm gonna have to put you up on the block again. She's like, I understand. It is like, Are you playing the game? This is why sometimes you guys gotta pick and choose smart recruits, because this is actually ridiculous.
Listen,
I
though,
had such high hopes for Blue as like my podcast being Black bi, and she was bi, and she was talking about maybe I'll flirt with like multiple people and have like a throuple. I was like, yes, let's do it. And the way she has disappointed on so many levels, but then at this point, she doesn't care about the game. What she cares about is outlasting America. That is her one goal.
That's her problem.
And the fact she's not even gonna get that, she's a tragic character. It's just, it's wild to watch.
The fact that she could have potentially won the HOA this week, she was like, she had 2 wrong. And she was like, I don't really feel like going back to go check the teeth. I'm just gonna go through and go and flip all and start messing up all the things that she
just wants some sound bites at this point.
Yeah, she does. I do think she just wants to be like a character.
She wants to be clippable.
Mostly. And then second, she wants to play Big Brother. And it's like, okay.
Yeah.
The question
is,
that
wasn't working for me, except when she went through the haunted house. Like that whole, that was actually funny to me. And I was like, okay, if I had this Blue the whole entire time, I'd be like, at least she's entertaining.
That's the thing. Her being like a little, not even a little, her being, you know, spacey when it comes to the game doesn't bother me because I'm just numb to it now. I've watched 25 seasons of this. We get a dummy every season.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
So for me, when Blue is spacey and not knowing what she's doing, it really doesn't affect me. I'm numb. I don't care. You don't know what you're doing. Go home. Which she is going to do this week. Thank you.
When she has those moments of clarity, like last week when she decided to tell Jag them about the conversation with the man, I was like, now this is what you do with information. You use it and use it as a way to bargain your safety if you need it. And then she goes right back.
I don't
think she erase it.
My issue is I don't think Blue is actually terrible. I think there's been way worse games played.
You know?
Yes.
Because she does play the game. She does. She's just not too smart about it. It's weird because I feel like
accidental is what it is.
It is accidental, but it's intentionally actively telling Jag information, telling so-and-so information. So that part is intentional, and anyone doing anything is good for their game almost because you're doing something rather than just sitting there. And it did kind of help Corey go home. And I think America and Blue are kind of, I don't even know how to say it, 2 sides of the same coin, because I think America is smart with the game. She understands her position. She understands other people's position. I don't think Blue understands that. But America isn't good with strategy. She doesn't strategize correctly. She doesn't tell people the right information. She just tells them everything.
She just run her mouth.
She doesn't have really strong loyalties with anybody, and it makes people not trust her. And I think Blue is kind of good with some of those things. Blue can get a #1 here, there, and everywhere. Or you know, Sari is going out of her way to save Blue for a reason. She's not just saving Blue because Blue's just a dumb, like Blue is dumb. But that's not why she's saving her. There's
you see the potential.
There's a reason that Blue has the capability to have Sari going to bat for her. More than Sari has went to bat for a lot of people. And I think Blue, she had a duo with Jag earlier in the game. When the vote was about to flip on Izzy, Matt and Blue were getting really, really close. There's a lot of things she does do that is good. I just think she doesn't know Big Brother. And I think she wants to be a character more than play the game. And she wants to have a moment. Kitty purr. And it's like, girl, you're going home.
You
pay
done
attention.
that
Like play the game. And that's my thing. That's all I got to say.
I have a question for people who are in like the LGBTQIA plus community regarding Blue. Because earlier on in the season, she was talking to Jag and Riley about making the alliance with Hisam and Izzy under the pretenses of being bisexual and being a part of the community to leverage that to help Riley and Jag. And so I'm not a part of that community. I consider myself an ally, but I can't really put myself in y'all's shoes. So I am curious how you guys felt about that particular moment, because that really irked my soul. Like we did feed bites in the beginning of the season, and I dragged her to filth. And I think we don't talk about that moment enough, but it did happen. So I'm curious how you guys felt and how that has played in your evolution and your opinions on Blue.
I personally didn't care. I didn't care because I didn't think that Queer Alliance was like that serious, but I don't know. I don't know if other people feel differently, but yeah, it was floated out there. Yeah, and I feel like for Hisam, I was more surprised about the Hisam and Izzy like falling apart, because for my whole thing, and I'm still going to say it even though I know Izzy feels differently, I feel like that's just a big hit to her game. Like Hisam was her number, like she had him as her, like his number one. And so like she threw away that allyship just because Felicia and Sari were like, we're gonna knock him down a peg. And it's like, you never get rid of someone who's like your number one. Blue is Blue's fickle in the wind. I don't know. I didn't see that going anywhere, but any other queer people.
Yeah, I didn't. In the moment, it was hard. I had to like really think about it, but I don't think it really necessarily bothered me because it's, first of all, she talked to the cameras and she said she genuinely does want to actually take Hisam and Izzy as far as she could to the cameras. And a part of me, I was like, I appreciate it. That's as much as you can do. So even though she was using it to leverage other parts of her game, I think at the end of the day, she was going to stick to the moral ground of, I still want them, if Family Style makes it, I still want Hisam and Izzy to be the farthest ones. So for me, I was like, that's fine. And I think in a way, it can be comparable to Black people, Black players trying to play with themselves, but also trying to play with non-Black people like Sari and Jared did with Izzy. Sari and Jared didn't say it, but they were also using Mimi and Felicia Alliance to help Izzy. So it's not always vocalized, but it's very similar to what Sari and Jared did. And for me to be mad at Blue, I would also have to low-key be mad at them. And I'm not mad at either, honestly. I think it is what it is. It's the game. It's different if you're using people's Blackness against them or people's queerness against them and using that as a way to like diminish their game. But that's not what happened. So I think it was, I'm okay with it.
All right. Real quick, Derek, welcome to the podcast. You just popped in. So, hey, what's going on?
Hey, guys. Hello. Sorry.
Hey, Derek.
Justin.
And just a reminder for anyone who just popped in, if anyone got to go at any point, I completely understand.
But just my meeting late, sir. I'm having too much fun. Yeah. Thank
you.
You at the family reunion? They can wait.
I'm with my people.
So we can move on to the next person because we just spent a lot of time on Blue. The other person who's nominated is America. America obviously just got some hot water last week. She is now a solo player, not in her showmans right now. There's a lot going on with America, but it's looking like she might stay this week. What's the vibe on America? Can she even win the season at this point? Because she was getting ate up a little bit by a couple of these weeks, So what's going on? Can America win this game, y'all?
What game?
I honestly don't think she has I don't think she can win at this point. She would have to do a lot to advance her game. I mean, in the beginning, she didn't really have any like set loyal allies. And then after like week 3, she just played from the bed with Corey. Like she been laying down. She's been chilling. She been, cuddling and being cute. And so now that Corey's gone, now it's time for her to play the game. So, and she hasn't won any comps. It'd be something if she, had sat down and was enjoying her time with her little boyfriend, if she had a couple of comps under her belt. But I mean, at this point, it's like, what can you do in 2 weeks? We're going to see. Nothing.
My thoughts on America, though. Oh, sorry, Kayla.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, she played the best game for her. Like, let's be real, because she wasn't finding any purchase with like half the people in the house at the beginning of the season. Half the people in the house didn't trust her. She was running her mouth too much. So her finding Corey, becoming a showman, and essentially convincing him to throw his game away to better her position in the game is honestly...
It's crazy.
I did not think she convinced him.
But the irony in that
I don't think he said it was not her. She tried to convince him.
He's lying.
No. Like not consciously. He flipped the game that if he had not flipped on Izzy and Jared, she was the one being targeted out of their showmans. He flipped it, gave the power to her friends. So now when they were on the block, he was the one targeted. If he had been going with the flow, it would have been him in the driver's seat of their showmans, in their positioning. Should I say, he would have had the better positioning in the house than she did. And I mean, I feel like that's proven by how we've seen unraveled. So and then she ultimately is his downfall, with him leaving at a time that's actually perfect for her, because now she's seen as the solo player. Now she can kind of work her charm on Matt and Jag. It's already kind of working where they're considering bringing her to the final 3, final 4. I think this is the best game for her, and I don't think she did it intentionally. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it was intentional. I don't think Corey realizes it. I don't think she realizes it. But this is probably the best arc path for her, because she just was not finding purchase at the beginning with a large alliance to protect her. So she basically had him protect her, and him leverage his social capital with everybody else in the house to get her further at the expense of his game. And now she is where she is. If she just clutches a few good comp wins, I mean, she could be sitting in those final 2, and depending, she might have the case, but she needs to win something. Like she needs to win, and she needs to get rid of Matter.
Has to.
No, she needs to win something. That's the question. So far, she hasn't been able to win a single competition to literally save her life or Corey's life. Yeah. She hasn't been able to do anything. And even though we've been able to hear America talk to Corey about the big moves that she wishes she could make. She wishes she could have taken out Cirie and make big shots, but we know that she's never been in the power and the position to do it. So I think even if she makes it to finale night, right now as it is, I think she loses against every single person.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every single person, including fucking Bowie J.
Fucking Bowie J.
So real quick, I am gonna just acknowledge some of the stuff in the comments, because there's a lot coming in. One, you guys can't see it, but one of the comments says, "Come on, y'all, for real. America didn't have no allies because of Jared, Red, and Matt didn't want her to have any."
No.
Hold on.
Her boyfriend is the reason she ain't got no allies.
Let me say something. When Beyonce said America has a problem, she did not lie. America's problem talks too damn fucking much. She talks too much. There's a saying that says you listen twice as much as you talk, and America did not get that lesson as a child. No offense to her. But all she did was run her mouth and literally constantly put herself at trouble. She was already vulnerable from the jump. From the start, she was at the outside of family style. They really didn't even kind of take her in. People were trying to pull her in, but not really. And we saw that especially with Blue. And I think she did everything in her power to be isolated and to put herself in the situation she put herself in. Her and Red, both of them did that in the beginning of the game to themselves. And so I think, honestly, she used Corey and she got herself leverage to start making some sort of moves, even though at the end of the day, she didn't get any power to make any. So in reality, like everyone else has said, she's done nothing because she's won nothing. And all she does is talk a big game, and she has yet to action them. She doesn't have a good social strategy as well to maybe influence or manipulate people into doing her bidding. Even Corey, they weren't even on the same page. They're in an alliance or a relationship as they're supposed to be playing as a relationship, and they played as two individual players, which ruined both of their games. And that was a big part of their downfall as well. So I'm sorry, but ultimately, I think in the big game of Big Brother, you mostly control your fate. And I think she did it to herself. So thank you.
Oh, well, also Corey, because he was going around telling everybody, oh, she's untrustworthy. She can't hold secrets. She's doing this, she's doing that.
That's stuck.
This girl ain't got no allies, y'all. That's weird. You get Corey goes, and there's nobody else that has any working relationship with America except maybe Blue, who hates her, who she hates as well. Marie's not trying to pull in America. How do you lose your one ally that you had in the entire game? And that's still your one ally. It's been 100 goddamn days. You know what I'm saying?
Because she's been on vacation. She was not playing Big Brother.
You ain't go at least be like Corey had all the allies were Corey's. He gone now, and now she's just like, dang, I guess I'll work with Jag and Matt. What choice do you have? Nobody else is willing, has any relationship with you. You just laid up. You did nothing. That's why America has a problem.
She wanted to work with young people, the young crew. She didn't want to work with Serena. If she recognized she had a good read, like, oh, Cerine's where the power structure is, she should have got her behind up under the power structure, and she would have had some allies.
Come on.
She's very bad, like socially. It seems like every time there were times where she thought, let me go talk to Suri, and she would have one conversation with her and never talk to her again. And she just was not good. She's never been good at holding allies, like y'all said. Her only ally was Corey, and that's because that was her boyfriend, you know? Like, would he have been your ally if he was not your boyfriend? I don't think so. No one else really was the entire season. And I think that's her main issue. She just hasn't been good socially. Her perception has been bad. Even before Corey started bashing her, people already felt that about her. Corey keep saying it.
He amplified it.
He knew other people were saying it, and he used it in order to leverage his game. But she already had that perception. Even from the beginning, I remember when Family Star was made, I was like, okay, Blue could really pull her in, but Blue never really wanted to. And Blue is weird about it. But the fact that someone who I guess should or could have pulled you in didn't even want to, it's just like it shows that there's something about her perception. And in that game, perception is reality. No one ever perceived her as trustworthy, even Corey. Some of the shit he was saying was true. He genuinely
it was true.
All of it was true. All of it.
So it's like it how even Corey, I just think her social perception was just really, really bad, and she didn't do good at making it a good one. So that's
it's really crazy to me because her coming in, she's cool as a person, right? But her social game in general for me, like especially when she was trying to get pulled in to Bye Bye Bitch, she's like, well, I'm gonna be on the end of that alliance. I don't want to be. If you as watching Big Brother as a fan know that an alliance can change, you could be at the bottom, you could be at the top within hours. It changes so quickly. So me coming in having 0 alliances, or I'm gonna be at the bottom of a 7-person alliance. I'm gonna be at the bottom of that 7 because I'm gonna work my way up to 1 or 2 or 3. You know what I'm saying? So once she threw that capital out, like I don't care. I don't need these people. It's just like, what are you gonna do for the rest of the game?
You know better not to turn down an alliance. You take all that you can
quickly.
Yeah, America's very much just been a fan in the house, and sometimes it's nice to watch. Like the last comp that we watched with all of the winners and their teeth, she was making references when she recognizes that she's down and out. She's like, okay, like Rachel did this, and then the funeral. But it's like that's fun to watch, but like, I don't know if she used anything that she watched as okay, what am I going to do for my game? It's a very
America's funeral this week, Nicole. America's funeral. Wait on it.
Yeah.
She said literally fuck off.
Interesting. She wanted a fight, and then I think she backed away from it, which is so weird because you're gonna say something.
I thought she was gonna give it to us.
A fight with who?
Everybody.
To fight everybody.
At this point.
The issue with her playing as a fan is that she's a fan of old school BB, and old school BB they wasn't playing good. So she's in here trying to be. She says her favorite season was season 6. She's thinking, "Oh, I'm just gonna stick with Family Side. It's a split house, and they're gonna cover." No, baby, this is 25 seasons in, and you trying to play BB6.
Yeah.
If this was BB6, America would be in final 2.
She just always had a set perception in her head who she wanted to play with. She wanted to play with the Jags, the Matts, the Coreys, the young people of the world. She never opened herself up to working with anybody else. Especially that week that Suri saved her on Jared's HOH, like when Suri and Izzy were like, no, we don't want America on his first HOH. When she was like, I don't want America going up. And you could tell that week that Suri and Izzy had such a really good working relationship and seemed really to connect. But once they were out of power that week, she ran right back to the Cam. She wanted to work with Cam and stuff like that. It was just like, and now everybody's like excited because they're seeing how like America and Suri could work together. They're like, oh, I wish they would have been a duo sooner. I mean, they could have been closer sooner earlier in the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, but she didn't want to be like Tracy said, at the bottom of whatever structure that Suri had.
I go ahead, Josie.
I was gonna say, I think America also did moves that were so fundamental, like in the way she is currently in the house, throwing pressure cooker and throwing that POV that last POV we saw with
Yeah.
Jag and stuff like
So
that.
weird.
I can't believe, how are you throwing competitions at Final 8? I personally, that's a choice that I would not make, but to each their own. But she said she threw it. Also, like pressure cooker as well. America has honestly been at the bottom half of the house constantly, week after week after week after week, and she has done nothing to improve her status. And so when she has these competitions like pressure cooker, where she can actually make a difference and actually have some power and maybe do these things that she saw in the previous seasons or liking the show, she chooses not to. And it's actually frustrating because it's like, you like the show, you know that comps are important. And especially in this modern era, child, the competitions are everything, I guess. So it's no longer Big Brother, it's the challenge. So at this point in time, I just think even throwing the comps, the ones she claimed she threw, they were also a big part of why she's in the position she is today.
With that, with that, I'm gonna move on to the next one. Unless y'all want to be here all night.
If she could have won, she would have. In the words, if you could win it, you would.
All right. So the next person we are going to talk about before we get to two of the duos remaining in the house is fucking Bowie Jane. So
fucking Bowie Jane.
Listen, there was a big push. I've seen on social media at least a couple weeks ago. Like Bowie Jane can win the game. Bowie Jane's here, she can compete. Is that still true, or is that a dead idea at this point?
If she's sitting next to America,
she might be able to.
I think if she's sitting next to America,
shit,
right? Maybe.
I mean, look,
that speech does a lot.
The thing that's stopping I don't want to hear her do no speech, y'all. I'm sorry. And that's a personal preference. I ain't got nothing against the Australians. You just, for me, y'all let me know how it go. But I think that, right now, Jag is the unstoppable force because he can't stop winning, right? But be the one who beats him. You look like you did something at that point because you took out Jag. Oh, I'm the guy who cut Jag. Matt couldn't stop Jag. Nobody could stop Jag, but Bowie Jane stopped Jag. That's a narrative for you.
He's going to win, and she stopped Cameron.
She stopped Cameron.
Yep. Especially when
thought she had a chance.
And especially since he literally told her to her face, you might go up on the block, as a pawn or whatever. In my mind, I'm like, all right, so I'm not important to your game. That's dead. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know why
I'm
she's
disposable.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we in competition mode now. So you take out Jag, win a veto here, the HOH here, maybe one of your allies get one in there. Oh, you done came out with 3-4 competition wins, and guess what? Ain't nobody else got them because Jag got them all. Cameron got them all.
And then he on the jury.
So now you sit next to an Olympian in the final two saying, well,
you a heavy hitter.
Right. Yep. What did Matt do? Oh, y'all liked Matt, but did he get rid of Cameron? Did he get rid of Jag? No, he was just sitting there just watching everybody else, making social connection. Well, guess what? I did that too. So I don't think we can count out Bowie Jane right now. Especially when it's gonna come down to challenges. All he just gotta do is get one.
Yeah.
But she's not currently targeting them. So we can count out
right now.
But would anybody legitimately not target Matt and Jag right now? Is somebody really thinking that they don't want besides Felicia?
Bowie J.
Bowie Jane.
She would do it. At least that's what she's saying.
I think she could be swayed. I think if you come to her and say, when are we ever gonna win something, Bowie Jane?
She don't
might look at it
care.
Dang,
every time she gets information, she runs it straight to them.
So the house wants Jag and Matt in the final two. Is that what it is?
It sounds like Bowie Jane do.
I think everybody is waiting for one of them not to win a competition to take a shot at them. Everyone but Bowie. Bowie's that's her spot, her squad. Everyone else is at the moment they don't win something, they're taking a shot at them.
Here's the thing. Here was my point though. Cameron was Bowie's number one ally. Who took him out? Okay.
I think she can be convinced because after Corey planted the seed, she was really shook up about that. And had she won this HOH, I think she might have would have just threw him up there because she was like, I can't trust you. I don't know. Y'all could be lying to me. Throw them up there and see how it happens. See what happens. So.
Yeah, I know I'm
so.
The outlier, but I have a smidgen of faith in Bowie Jane just because she had a pretty good HOH with everyone acting like they were going to be safe. It was like someone has to go home, so that can't be true. I do wonder though if Suri and Felicia would ever vote for her to win though. I don't think they have that kind of respect for her game. But
she got to earn it. I think right now you're right. I think they have nothing good to say about her. But again, they start winning these challenges, and you stacking up with the big boys. You got Jag with 8, and you get 3. That puts you in second place at this point. So
Yeah.
it gives you something to talk about, especially if you take out those threats, because that gives Sari and Felicia some wiggle room to even play the game. Right now, they just like, please don't let it be us. Don't let it be us. Don't let it be us.
Yes.
Anybody but me, Sandra. Anybody but me.
And they're convinced that it's going to be one more physical challenge, and then it's going to be all mental from here. And I'm like,
I blame
production
Corey.
said,
Corey.
watch this.
Yeah.
Production playing in our face at this point.
I think there's a difference, and this is something that we've talked about in previous podcasts. I think there's a difference between someone making it to the final 2 and then someone winning, right? So do I think everyone in the house has a path to the final 2? Absolutely. I think if you're still in the house, you better fight for your life. However, I feel like Bowie Jane, she's okay with settling with 3rd place. Big Brother Australia, their way of playing the game is very different than the American version. And you can kind of tell that with Miss Bowie Jane over there. But she has done moves to build some resumes. Getting out Cam is a big deal. Do I think if Bowie Jane ends up in the final 2, she can express that and convince the jury to vote for her with the current social dynamics within the house? Not really. So do I think Bowie Jane could have a path to the end and have a good speed, and have a good resume? Absolutely. There's so many days left in this goddamn house. But do I think she has the speech, the charisma, everything in between to actually convince the jury members to vote for her? Not really.
I completely agree. Do you think it was a Bowie Jane move, or do you think it was a Jag move for Cameron?
Jag's not going to claim it. Is he?
That's
He's not smart enough to claim it.
Yeah.
I think the way the players are viewing this season is so competition based that if it happened under your HOH or if it happened under your POV, it's your move. And that's not true. And I think with the exit interviews, Corey is a good example. We were saying before he left, Corey would be able to advocate for Sari because he will understand the gameplay that she's playing. She's playing socially. And then we get to exit interviews and he's talking like, oh, Jag and Matt, those are the 2, and not really giving Sari any credit. Maybe it's because the right people are in the jury house to really talk about that. But I don't think there are enough people in the house who are playing the game to even advocate for that reasoning. And they just go based off competition. Cameron won so many competitions. Corey said in his exit interview, this season is so competition based that these 2, Jag and Matt, which is funny because when did Matt win something except for that one power thing? But I move. That these are the resume builders. These are the game players of the season. So I do think they might consider it a Bowie Jane move because it was under her HOH. Do I think she deserves full credit? Absolutely not.
No.
All right. Well, go ahead.
I just want to make sure because I don't think it was full credit for her. Just
absolutely not. Because she was burned.
Keep in mind, she didn't want to make no move against Cameron, and it kind of forced her to have to because of Jag.
She had to get talked into it.
Exactly.
Right. So that's why I just want to make sure. I don't think that
it wasn't a good move for her. He was never going to turn on her. So I mean, we're giving her credit for taking out somebody who she shouldn't have even took out.
It was good for us.
You got to give her credit. But what I meant by that is, if there was no, even if the veto was played, she would have still went after anybody else but Cameron if it wasn't for Jag pushing it, and then Cameron being Cameron, of course.
Oh yeah, that's
why I was getting at.
Yeah, I agree with you. She gets credit for her bad move. She just
All right. So unless anyone else has any last statements about Bo, we're gonna move on to the next person. So we can talk about Sari. I'm going in alphabetical order, so we can talk about Sari. Sari, obviously, for
want to go home.
Poor thing.
Shout out.
Don't put her in no damn costume anymore.
She's done.
No costume.
No dumbass costume.
Does Sari actually have a chance to win this? I think it's not looking too good.
It's slim.
I don't think anyone but Felicia, and then if Matt can get Jag out, would really take her out. I'm getting kind of concerned at this point. And then obviously, she's not the best at comps either. It's not looking too good for Sari. So does she have a road to win the season. Because I don't even know if her Survivor legacy and all is even enough to win the season.
They don't even they can't even comprehend that. And her heart is even if she gets the final two, the jury is made up of these people who are so incompetent and can't comprehend how special her game is and the intricacy of her game, that even with her explaining, even if she gave them a rule book and wrote down everything step by step, they still wouldn't be able to grasp what she did so subtly and why it was so impactful. So I think even if she does an amazing speech, which I think she would give us based on how they've already seen her.
But what if she says, and she reveals, like, my son, Jared, was actually in this house, unbeknownst to you, and we played this game, yet I'm still here, not having won anything, and all of y'all kept me. Like, if she is able to articulate it, does she stand a chance? And I think that depends on who she's sitting next to.
I think they'll still be mad, Tiff. I think they'll actually be pissed that she had extra help in the game.
They're not going to be able to
depends on how she words it.
They can't think to be angry that fast, I don't believe. That's something that it takes time to be upset about. They would be
amazed.
I think they're going to be floored.
But Tiffany, I do have a question, Tiffany, because when it comes to a jury vote, I always felt like it was people had it made up in their mind a little bit, an idea of who they were going to vote for in every final two scenario.
Do you think that idea? Don't know, kind of, because remember, we really don't know who final two is because final three comes out on stage.
Right.
So you're still playing a scenarios game in your mind, like which three are, like, depending on which three are there. So you've got to put those three people in those two seats and kind of figure out how they got there. And there is some kind of your mind is kind of made up, I'm not gonna lie. You do have some preconceived notions of what you do in that situation. Like, okay, this person's sitting next to this person, it all depends on how they got there and how they're able to articulate that. If you can't really tell me what you did, I don't know it. Like, you may have done things that you think I should know. Tell me.
Yeah.
Do you remember anything?
I think Sari can do it too. I don't know if Jag's punches will land. Jag's gonna say what can he say? I won
some comps.
And Cameron and Corey and Matt and Blue are gonna be that's enough, and all you need is 4.
Exactly.
And
that's what I was gonna say. Unfortunately for Sari, most of her alliance has been evicted pre-jury. The people that she was working with and the people who she was running the game with, the first part of the game with, are all pre-jury. So all of these people that are left in the jury, they like know she was running the game in the, like, early game, but they don't know the intricacies of what she did. So even if she can articulate it and explain it, which I think she can do really well, like Tiffany said, you might go in there with some preconceived notions, and if there's nobody in that jury to advocate for her, she can drop a whole bunch of bombs on them on finale night. But if their minds are already at least leaning towards one way, then it might not sway it. It's just so unfortunate for her that if she does make it to the final two, I don't think there's anybody in that house who can articulate a case for her. Felicia can't do it.
You won't do it. Probably.
We don't want her to do it.
Blue can't do it. You know what I'm saying? America can't do it. Bowie Jane can't do it. Like, that's
Corey might, though. Corey has a respect for Sari's gameplay.
Yeah.
He knows who he is. Cameron is a player. He respects the game. I think he may consider the social aspect of her gameplay if she makes it to final two, even if she's sitting next to Jag. Because for me, it's like, okay, Jag, would you even be in this position if it wasn't for you winning? Because it's a social game and we have to want to vote for you. And if you wouldn't be here for you winning, then that means I would have voted you out. And we did.
Or
we all voted you out.
But he wouldn't be here if she hadn't convinced Matt to use the power, because he asked her, should I use
it? That's a good one.
Oh, that better be in her speech too.
These are very
we need to send her these points.
We do.
These are very intelligent points, but I don't know if these people are going to be able to come up with them themselves. And if she says it, I don't know if it's going to be too late. I feel like you think Corey and Cam, being super fans, they're going to be able to understand that, but so far from what we've heard from them,
That's
Go ahead, Nicole. I heard. Wait, real quick, Nicole. What were you about to say?
I was saying how I think we also need to remember, like, okay, so Cirie doesn't have advocates anymore. They're gone pre-jury, but Cirie still has her like social game. Her whole big thing is like the relationships that she has, and she's built some form of relationship with everyone on that jury panel. So I think there could be an in for how she talks to them. I think also I'm thinking of Survivor a little bit, kind of Marianne specifically, her win, how she whipped out that idol and everyone's like, oh my gosh, she had that. Like, I think Jared being her son could be one of those. And then like she knew about Matt's power, and I'm still going with until I'm told otherwise that she told Matt to keep Jag. I don't know why she did it, but I just don't think Matt was going to do that on his own, and that can be another idol if we're talking in Survivor. And we can say these jurors are not strategists. They do not understand this game very well. Very true. But they're also, I think, easily impressed. Like,
that's a good point.
If they love all these wins, I think they could also be very impressive. Like, I know America couldn't hold on to like Jared being her son for 100 days. Like,
she would have forgot.
Real quick. I'm so sorry, Nicole. I know you got to hop out, Derek. So I would say thank you for stopping by. Shout out to you.
I'm so sorry I can't stay long, guys, but you guys keep up everything you're doing. We're so excited for all the stuff you guys are doing, and I love this. This is beautiful. So
until next time.
Love you.
Until next time, I love all you guys. I will see you guys later. Okay.
All right. Bye. But no, I agree with everything that Nicole had to say. And real quick, and it was just the one big thing I think a lot of people aren't actually like incorporating in this as well. They're like not in jury for as long as like they're used to. So usually like they have time to like kind of like get over a lot of stuff, you know what I'm saying? But like they're not going to have that.
I'm confused. What you mean? Explain it to the little people, to Lane.
So usually, all right, let's say like Cam. All right, let's say Cam going there like way later. Like let's say like he gets to like Final Four or whatever. Him being betrayed by like Jag or Matt, he's going to feel some type of way. You know what I'm saying? So,
you mean the people that are in the house now are going to jury later? Yeah. I thought you meant they shortened jury or something. I'm like, that too. I don't even know.
Well, they did that too, though.
Jury will only spend like the first juror to the final. The final will only spend like 30 days in jury. In contrast
to 4 weeks.
Yeah.
That's like 4 weeks. Because there's a double that's going to speed it up, and then it's going to be Final Five, and then the finale is the week after.
We're only here for like 3 more weeks. Like, I'm pretty sure.
And the preview was in there for like 6 weeks.
Right, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Your jury was in there longer.
I would have ran away. They would have had to get somebody for me.
So I agree. Cirie has the social bonds. I'm sorry, Julie. Cirie has the social bonds, which means she'll have to sit next to somebody who the people hate. Like that's kind of where it's going.
Or
if she can't explain her strategic acumen, then she needs to have her social shine, and they need to be bitter.
I think a good person for her to sit next to is Matt. I think that's a good final two because they both have equally done the same thing, except he won that power. Oh, he won a veto too.
I agree with that, but Tiffany, you're smart. And I think that's what like a lot of us here are I think everybody here is smart. I think the people who are going to be in the jury are not going to be smart. I think they're going to respect, and I don't think it's because they're men, but the 2 men in the house versus Cirie, I think it's going to be a hard time for her to get that.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like that.
Well, unfortunately,
I don't like this season, and I said it.
And that's the problem. That's the
problem
with having too many like recruits as well. To be fair, like they're going to value a lot of these. They don't know what they talk more than that. And then even like, I mean, I don't know how much Felicia's watch, but like,
the jury is a lot of fans.
That's with quotes.
Yeah, but the issue is, I genuinely think they're fans.
But all right, even
that's the issue.
Even on top of that, and then
like I think these people have seen the season.
They watch TV.
Look, even on top, and Josie, you can say so. Go ahead, Josie, because I keep cutting you off, and I'll say it.
I was just gonna say, I think the issue here is that they're not gonna validate her experience and the way she played the game until she wins something. That's what I think. I think if she wins something, and that's something on her resume, I think they're going to be open to hearing, okay. Because again, also you have to remember she was in control. If she went to the jury and said, everyone raise your hand up if I was in an alliance with you, and they all raise their hand, that would eat, that would serve. But I don't think anyone would be receptive to her and what she can say and things she can explain until she's won something. And so to your original question about, do you think Cirie can win? I am hoping and I am praying. This next HOH is a crap shoot. It's something in her. It needs to be something about nursing,
Survivor 101.
Blood drawing.
That's what it's gonna be.
It's a fire making challenge. It's the next HOH is a fire making challenge.
Fire. There we go. That's it. Fire making. Yeah.
If she wins that HOH and she puts up Jag and Jag goes home on the double HOH, they are going to be so receptive to anything she has to say. But she would have gotten rid of Jag, which makes her game even more difficult.
Are they going to vote for Jag?
Or
it depends on who she's next to. Right?
Here's the problem. And you know, we can say Jag's not going to beat her, right? But it's like, unfortunately, and you know, she made this error a little bit with this whole Heisem thing. A lot of the two things that's working against her. One, a lot of her allies are not in the jury; they're all pre-jury, and then they shorten the jury as well. So there's not like Nicole, Jared; those will be like key votes for. They're not here anymore, so she's going to have to convince a bunch of people who she hasn't been working with all summer, or it's not even the summer anymore, all season, that she was doing all these things, and none of them have actually like seen or experienced any of this. So she's going to have to convince a jury full of people who she has not actively played with that she's been playing this matchful game, and that's going to be an uphill battle regardless. And I can't get too mad at the jury because even though
she can put it together though, she say it.
I hope so, but like there's shortened times with like these answers for these finale questions at this point. I don't know.
Gosh, I hate this.
It's not as easy anymore. So it's like,
especially when you're tired and you're tired of being there. You like, I'm here in final two. Vote for me. Thank you. That's my favorite.
Yeah,
appreciate you.
To Josie's point,
I hate to say it, but I think we need a like the Oz's bowling, like
to Josie's point, when she mentioned like if she were to win comp, then that would give her game credence, and I hate that because we know Cirie is a social strategic player. She'd rather not win, even if she could. She'd rather just play using her mind versus exactly rather than having to win. And it sucks that we're in this game at this this era where comps are validating someone's gameplay when we've known the best players, which we have one right here, doesn't have to win all the time. They use their mind and their social capital to get them to the end. And I hate that the only way to validate the impressive game that she's played is with a comp.
Yeah. And I'm going to have to cut everybody off. I'm so sorry because like I said, we don't want to be here all night. All right, so we got 3 more people to talk about. So we're going to talk about the other Black person that's announced right now, Felicia. You know, Felicia, still in the house despite being on the block plenty of times. You know, she's chaotic. You know what I'm saying? I think she thinks that she's in like a power position when she's not. But I don't see her going anytime soon just yet. Can Felicia garner enough respect in front of a jury to actually win this game? That's the real question.
If Felicia's in the final 2 and she started talking, they gonna vote for Felicia. Because how did you do it, ma'am? How did you get here? Yeah.
How did you get here?
Said cooking all that chicken.
Right.
Someone in the chat said send Sister Milk Dud home. I'm crying. That's terrible.
Not too much on Annie, but listen,
too much
we've
corn.
seen people get dragged to the end before. And I don't think you can accuse Felicia of getting dragged anywhere. Like she might be, she's kicking and screaming.
She clawed her way.
Yeah,
she clawed her way to where she did.
Listen. There have been numerous times where she's been on the block and she's been fighting for her life. Now, everything she does might not be good, but she fighting for her life. She is not a pawn for everybody. It's not like her allies are using her as a scapegoat. She is a legitimate threat to these people. They like, okay, we got to put Felicia. Why not Cirie? Well, because Felicia, you did win that HOH. Remember that? You know, and so people start looking at the other stuff that it was ages ago. You know?
While y'all talking about Felicia, 24 minutes ago, she was in the kitchen cooking, whispering under her breath, Cirie, you ain't getting to no final 3.
Right. To see, that's the thing. She will take every opportunity to throw somebody under the bus, specifically Cirie.
Beefing with Cirie.
she knows, like, she like, y'all, this is Cirie from Survivor, right? We've been hearing
She
Corey
sees
talk
it,
about
though.
it.
She works closest with Cirie. She
Right.
understands what other people now don't understand.
She like, y'all crazy. This is Cirie. And also, y'all are looking at me like I'm the threat, but y'all don't see I'm bad at this. This woman is cooking me up at every turn, and y'all want me out. She knows she should be tripping Cirie. She knows she should be throwing Bowie Jane under the bus. Effing Bowie Jane. She knows she's supposed to be bashing these people, because if somehow Felicia slides her way to the final two, it's not because Jag decided I want to go to the final two with Felicia. It's because she done weaseled her way through there, man. Get that lady that money. She make it to the final two.
I'm just like, I just feel like she is so clouded with that week where Jared and Cirie try to like get her out for Izzy that she's never going to drop that, and that's fine.
That grudge ain't going nowhere.
I'm just wondering, who does she sit next to? Maybe like Bowie, but there's no way in hell.
I think she could beat anybody.
Really?
I genuinely think Felicia.
They were talking about it.
Felicia demands respect.
Okay.
And I think when it comes to a jury vote, you have to be respected. That's kind of why Taylor won. She sat there and demanded that they vote her. She didn't plead her case. She said, I challenge.
She told y'all.
And that's what Miss Felicia just sitting there is a challenge in itself. This is the oldest woman to ever play Big Brother, period. And she made it final two, not by sitting there. She won an HOH. She was nominated. Votes had to flip multiple times.
She had
vetoes
arguments.
had to be used to backdoor other people. She has been here working. If they don't vote her over anybody, it's some bullshit, is what it is.
I think you really gotta.
If Felicia gets past this double eviction, I will be shocked.
I was just gonna say, I think she's going home.
There's no
I
way.
think she is going home next.
The position that her trying to drag Cirie's position down only just dragged her position down too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They
it's not
want
like
America now. They're like, oh, not
and that's
America.
what I'm saying. Like it went from at least Jag, Matt, Bowie Jane, Cirie, Felicia, America Blue, to now she did all of that. Now it's Jag, Matt, Bowie Jane, America, and the two of y'all at the bottom. Like, and that's what Cirie had been warning her like all week, but she just kept running her mouth, and it's unfortunate.
Jealous spirit.
Because if Matt and Jag win, if Matt and Jag keep winning, she's gonna keep going on the block. Like she's just gonna keep going on the block. I guess I know that when one person is winning all the comps, you have to try and suck up to them. But I think even Cirie kind of realized it this week. It was just kind of like I felt like Cirie has been so deflated this week because I don't think she realized like how comp heavy this show was going to be. And she realized she can't maneuver the way that she wants to when she's not winning comps. Felicia, on the other hand, is like, well, I can just get closer to those guys. But Felicia, like, those guys have been rocking
they
with
don't
the same
want you
people for the whole game. That's what I'm saying. Like, you're not going to just like slide in here. So, I mean, if she makes it to final two, yeah, I would vote for her. The problem is I don't see a path for her. But then again,
you got to win out.
You have to win, which she can. She was doing good in them quiz comps.
And she did good in
they're going to throw in a damn rock climbing, bro. I'm telling you, they're going to throw in some rock climbing.
If Jag is gone, if Jag is gone, you got to look at it like this. Everybody in the house, for the most part, are at the same comp level. Jag leaving, I think, is the easiest way for her to get to final two because you on a level playing field. So at this point, it's like who can win what ideal comps and put up who. I think she has a chance. I mean, she got to run her mouth.
That Olympian is still there, though. You know, that Olympian might. Okay, now, man, I'm a judge a little bit. You're an Olympian, but you letting Jag piece you up every week in these competitions, boy.
But me and Eric talked about this right before the show. And of course, Matt has a great opportunity to get to the end, but that speech though, that is what we're worried about. Like, how is his speech? Is he going to be able to articulate himself into a way to convey like?
Say he all he gotta say is I didn't hear shit y'all said, and I'm still here.
Exactly.
You know what?
I'm just saying. Legitimately, it was hard as hell. If I was him, I'd be like, it was hard as hell for me to play this game. Y'all whispering in front of me. I'm trying to figure out what you're saying. I have to separate myself from what I really feel in my emotions because that shit is irritating. I hate when I can't hear. I'll be like, damn, speak up.
That's true.
So if him making it there, going through all of that, I get and he's never ever even been the subject of a target.
Nope.
Yeah.
Not
An
on the block
Olympian.
ever. He made it to final two. If I was him, I'd just sit there with my legs open.
This man,
Look, who was gonna put? Look, raise your hand if you're gonna
Seriously.
nominate me and target
Right.
me.
this man is
No
a
hands,
6'2"
If they give him a
athletic white
damn-
man on Big Brother who
Right.
has an
Yeah.
Olympic tattoo on his back, and y'all ain't put
Right.
this man on the block.
Right.
I'm afraid they're going to
He
give him a
deserved to
perfect
win.
win, man. They're going to give him a
Write the
perfect
check.
win.
Come on.
Write the check.
Crazy.
I love
Right, the
y'all
check.
though. I gotta get out of here.
Of
It was
course.
so fun.
Bye, Tiff.
Thanks for having
Appreciate
me.
you,
Love
man.
you.
Thank
All the stuff I said, I'll cut this. I didn't mean it. If I hurt somebody feeling sorry, anyway, I don't care
It's
about
okay.
it.
Nah, you good.
Bye, Tiff.
Bye, Tiff.
Write the check.
All right.
I was gonna say real quick about Felicia. I think Sarah made a good, convincing speech on her behalf. It felt like gospel almost. It was like you were preaching. I felt it. But then I realized these people don't respect her as much as she commands respect. They don't. Cameron, especially he don't fucking like Miss Felicia. He don't like her at all. And I think he would rather vote for anyone else in that house but her. And then Corey also during his exit press, he was talking some shit about Felicia. And the thing is, originally in the live feeds, he said, he made a reference to Stevie, Cameron's daughter, but initially he was gonna drag Felicia. He was gonna drag her, and then America said, "Don't do that because she might get mad at me when you leave, and I don't want that on me. Please don't do that to me." So Corey, I don't think also respects her. I think we as a public respect her, and I think she deserves respect. But at the end of the day, the people in this house, I've heard America talk shit about Miss Felicia so much.
Yeah.
So much. So that's 3 people, in my opinion, who will not vote for her, and the majority is 4. It don't take much depending on who is sitting beside her. And so as much as I think she has every right to be in the final 2 and be a winner, I don't think that the house guests on a personal level can respect her enough to really actually listen to her. It's gonna give to me, not necessarily her speaking, but the way people perceived Enzo when he was talking. Like, it's gonna give very much that. Like, people are gonna start maybe laughing, looking at each other, making reactions. I think that's how that's gonna go down, and it's unfortunate. And I do think she merits that respect.
Interesting. That's like so far from my perspective that it's hard to imagine. Like, I could see them. I feel like they laugh with her and not at her, but I don't know.
Depends on the day.
But they're constantly just telling
that.
her. They're constantly just telling her, like, just go in the kitchen and cook. Like, it's very demeaning.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I think.
All right.
So with her, if she gets there, I don't think she'll be like Enzo, because Enzo, he said a whole lot of nothing. Okay, and his speech was funny. I think she'll get up. She's gonna be spitting facts. I sat on the block 5 times. Okay, y'all had 5 times to take me out. You didn't do it. And whether if I was the target or not, there was something about, oh, we need to keep her so we can get someone else out. That's your fault. I'm still here. Y'all could have gotten me out. And y'all want to say she wasn't good at comps. She, like you mentioned, her, she was coming in 2nd, 3rd, 4th in a lot of these comps, and she could win something.
In the scenario that she's in final 2, I think she has to win another comp. I don't see her even getting there without winning the final 2. So in this scenario that we're talking about, I think that she will have a lot more to say because I think she will have taken herself. I don't think anyone is taking Miss Felicia to final 2. So I think she will have won the final HOH if she's ever in final 2. So for me, I feel like, they might get over it, even if they didn't respect it. And it's kind of like, I kind of compare it to more a little bit to Taylor, because I feel like they didn't respect Taylor the whole entire time she was in the house. And then they voted her at the end, and I could see an upside, but I do also see what Josie is saying.
I'm also afraid
I disagree with that statement just a little bit, because I think Taylor earned respect as she was in that house. The way she refused, correct me if I'm wrong, she refused to nominate Jasmine, even though Jasmine had talked mad shit about her all fucking season.
Jasmine
she earned her respect.
Couldn't be me.
She earned her respect at that point in the house. Same thing, when she became a part of that alliance, she earned the respect. The fact that she sat on the block, whether she wanted to or not, within her alliance, she earned that respect. The only people who did not vote for her, Turner, he wasn't in the jury house. Had Turner been in the jury house, I'm sure he would have also voted for Taylor. I think her respect was merited, but then when she spoke on finale night, she solidified her legacy and the respect that she got. So I do think that when I compared Felicia to Enzo, it wasn't that I think they're going to speak the same. By no means. She's going to talk about a seed of a mustard seed. I know my sister in Christ. She will say it.
Come on, God.
I know she will speak eloquently, but I don't know if the people will respect her enough to actually listen. You can listen and you can actually listen. And I don't think they will give her that respect.
So two things. One, Chappelle said that his power went out and he has to go back to his meeting. But he said he's sending everyone his loving regards. So shout out Chappelle if you watch later.
Chappelle.
SMH in the chat actually said Taylor. And we're not going to make this a whole Big Brother 24 conversation. Taylor had at least Michael and Joseph advocating for her. Who is advocating for Felicia in a jury?
I agree.
Got nobody.
Never mind. I'm be quiet.
And I do feel like it's. I do feel like it is. Felicia did not help her case a lot, but also it sucks because Felicia doesn't have a relatability with other house guests this season. There was no one who could sit in the jury who can relate to Felicia other than really Sari.
Even Mimi, Mimi, but
and Mimi exactly, and Mimi didn't make the jury. It was just very hard for her. I think it's very different when the age gap is so wide. It's hard for people to relate to her, especially because we're talking about people in jury. Cameron and Corey are white men. They are younger white men compared to her. So it's hard. It's going to be hard for them to really feel after any type of connection. And even in the past, when we talk about jury votes and people who vote for people, especially when it's women, with Taylor, it was a lot of the women literally saying, we need to take our power back. I want to vote for a woman. With Nicole Frenzel, it was literally women saying, I want to vote for a woman. And in this scenario, it's going to be, especially if she's in final two, it's probably going to be 4 men in jury. And usually when women win, there's more women in jury. It's just a lot of things that I do feel like are against her in this situation. So I don't. It's gonna be a hard sell, but I mean, you can.
It's sad. You may be a little sad.
Last thing about Felicia, and then we gotta move on. Okay. So go ahead. Go, Nicole.
There's a version of Felicia though who throughout the game, if she wanted to know who you're targeting, who you're aligned with, she's a straight shooter and she'll do that. And they get the answers. Either they're shook of her or there's some level of respect. And I think the poetic speaking that she does and motivating people want to be motivated, I think, when they're on that jury, and those hard-hitting questions, I can see maybe she could command respect in the moment. I think I'm just also really open to, and I've never been on a jury, but I'm open to maybe in the moment people will be moved by something, because I think they want a good finale. They've put they're all in 100 days.
I don't know, but we're gonna have to see. I promised Mari we're not doing 2 hours, so we got 2 more people left. And I'm sure this person might have a lot of you guys having a lot to say. So let's talk about Jag.
I'm ready.
So
next,
Jag
let me.
Not too much. Do I gotta be the Jaggernaut, the designated Jaggernaut?
Hold on. Let me say mine.
All right, Dominique.
So look. I like Jag, okay? Jag as a person, I really do enjoy him. I enjoy him outside the game. Inside the game, he is capital one dumbass, okay? So he has made dumbass moves. He has made dumbass assumptions, and he has dumbass strategy, okay? Now, he's lucky he's playing in the house with a lot of people that aren't doing the same. So I think with these comp wins, I think because of what the jury may look like, they're going to see wins and be equate that to, well, you want all these comps, so you're going to win the game. But to me personally, you left the game, you got voted out 10-0. You can win every single comp in this house and you're not getting my vote. But that's just me. But I'm going to leave it at that.
Yeah, I'm just wrapping my mind around a Jag win, to be quite honest, because just the way that
it's coming.
Yeah, the way that these seasons have shook out, we just saw it with Big Brother Canada, Ty basically winning out. Monty basically won out. Him and Turner were trading wins at the end of last season. Luckily, Taylor had a better story. Xavier won out at the end of 2023. So it's just like it's the same story, different day. We like I really wish they got Jack got taken out earlier so we didn't have to deal with this, but then we would have, no matter what, we would have had to deal with one person running the table, because it clearly, we saw that from the moment the season started. Heisem winning everything, then Cam winning everything, then Jag winning everything. It was just whoever was the last comp beast left was gonna be the one to win it, and Jag is currently the last comp beast left. The one thing I will say, his win would be, very historic. We're staring at like a final 6 where basically everybody except for Bowie Jane represents like a minority community, and Jag winning and being like a first Southeast Asian winner. Not including June. So like that would be really cool for representation state, but his game was horrendous. But I guess that's equality, right? A brown person can fuck up just as badly and win just as equally,
Very true.
That's my thing.
Come on, diversity, inclusion.
That is like my one thing about everyone complaining about Jag, but I'm just like, it's a Sikh like Punjabi man. Like that's like winning over and over. Like after seeing white men do this all the freaking time, I'm like, okay, not the worst universe that we're in. He's hilarious. He was my winner pick at the beginning because of all the right things he was saying of like, I want a power structure. And he's like another tragic character that's like, I just want a big power structure. And kept falling through every single time. If he was like kind of aware, I wonder if that would make a good speech to jury of like, okay, I had to like learn my lesson. Like I'm not going to be in this big. Yes.
My only problem,
he has a great story. He has a great story with literally everything y'all were just saying. What he represents is very important, especially nowadays in Big Brother, now that we have the BIPOC rule. And then his story in general was good. Like you did get fully evicted and then you ended up in the final 2 seeds. I think what happens is a lot of fans, I think a lot of fans forget that it's like I think a lot of fans forget that this is still just like really just entertainment. At the end of the day, I think people get attached to the game and the strategy, and they want to see good gameplay, which is always great, and I want to see it too. But even though Jag isn't a great player, I still think he would be a great winner in different ways. It doesn't always have to be that the greatest winner. Like a good winner is a good player. It doesn't always have to be that. He can be good in the sense that he represents a community, or in the sense that his story was just cool. A lot of people don't feel like Taylor was the best strategist last season, and she doesn't even feel like she was. And it's like for us to love that Taylor won, and then kind of like if Jag wins and people kind of give him flack, I think it's okay to criticize. But if people like give him a lot of flack for winning, it's a little bit contradictory, especially because Taylor admits that I think Taylor was the best player, and I think she was deserving winner. But Taylor admits she wasn't the best strategist, and she handled her HOHs poorly, like Jag does.
Listen,
he did literally.
At least you know. Yeah.
I wouldn't compare him to Taylor. If you're looking for a winner to compare him to, I would compare him to a Josh, like a representation.
That's not
somebody who made the right.
Lord have mercy.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
why do you say that, Mari?
Avatar. Because, like, in a sense of like not being that great of a player, but knowing what exactly they had to do at the end, who they had to sit next to at the end to get those jury votes. Like Josh, some people, I'm a fan of Josh winning. I like Josh winning. Again, there's a lot of us who are, but I think we can all say that Josh wasn't a great strategic player. You know what I'm saying? Like we liked his win for different reasons, and I think that's what the same place that Jag will fall into. I wouldn't say Taylor falls into that, because I think Taylor did a lot of work socially that got her to where she is, and she did, and then while also winning competitions and taking out the people she needed to, and having that phenomenal speech. So
I think with Jag,
that's how I just want to say. If we're comparing, it would be Josh.
Okay. With Jag, I could almost this with an asterisk forgive the fact that he got voted out 10-0. It was when he came back. It was when he came back and got on this moral high ground about, I've been lied to, and these people are bullies, and then he turns around and adapts the same game that he was blaming Sari for playing and uses her same strategy and
just mirrored
all these allies, and now he's on hypocrisy hill. If he wouldn't have had that arc for the last 4 weeks, I could almost forget the rest of it because everything else. Okay,
I'm bitter
because you stood your ground with Cam and wanted to keep Corey safe. Great move for you. Then the next week you turned and flipped it on Cam. Good move for you. Then you won these consecutive, competitions. Along with your representation story and what you represent. I think it would make a compelling winner. But because of that hypocrisy that he had and all of that foolishness after he came back, I can't get with it.
Listen, I'm gonna show some pushback because it's like, all right.
She been rubbing her head the whole time.
Because she's gonna go on a tangent. Hold on, let me say this because I know you're gonna
tap me in whenever because I'm ready to go.
I don't agree.
I'm already gonna agree with whatever Josie say.
I don't agree.
I already know.
Because listen, y'all talking about.
Let me go on.
But look, he's not good. And here's the problem. Like, all right, he got voted out. Fine. All right, he handled the invisible HOH incorrectly. Fine. Terrible. I can look past all the stuff that he's done. It's what he's about to do. He wants to take Matt to the end, and this is why I can't compare him to Josh. Josh cut the person that he would have lost to. Jag wants to take Matt to the end because he thinks
Jag's not going to lose to Matt.
I don't believe Jag.
I don't believe Jag will. I don't think it's definite that Jag will lose to Matt the way that we feel like it is. I don't think the players necessarily are going to just vote Matt over Jag.
I don't know.
I think it goes back to remember
Sari is in that.
Matt
Sari is gonna be in that jury though.
But Sari said Jag is running. Sari said last week Jag is the one who's making the move.
Matt hasn't been on the block all game. He could be like Jag was out, and then I used my power and brought his ass back in, and then he won every competition that kept me safe.
He could.
And then every time Jag is about to get himself in trouble, like the Bowie thing where he was about to put Bowie on the block, Matt's like, hey, don't do that. Do this instead. Like Jag, he's the brawn, but the brains and everything else is Matt.
The brains don't exist.
Like
I'll wait till we get to Matt.
Josie, go ahead.
All right.
Josie, go ahead.
She ready.
Jag, if I could compare Jag to someone, it would be the Wizard of Oz. Tim Man, not much going on up here. I mean, not
the Scarecrow.
Scarecrow. Sorry,
that's what I call him.
He is not giving what y'all think he is giving, and I am tired. And I'm gonna sit here and say, yes, Jag would be great representation for a community that has not been represented. I'm going to close that chapter and get to why I do not want Jag to be a winner, because I do think representation matters, but that's not where the perspective I am coming from. If you want to say that Jag should win because he is a representation of this season, I would agree. The terrible parts of the season. He's zombie week. Like him being evicted, he might as well have been the third zombie. I am sick and tired of him. He was horrible. That's the reason why he is still here, for a shitty twist of a shitty season full of twists. So he represents that caveat. Then we can talk about how there is a lack of intelligence in the moves that are being made. The common sense is not there. Blue is your number one ally. She literally thinks you are her number one ally. It doesn't take a mastermind. It don't take a mastermind to realize when she's sitting here, she's saying, it can't be you, the number one HOH. I know it's not you because you know I got you. It don't take a rocket science to go, wait, maybe I shouldn't have done that. But he still thinks he ate. He thinks he ate that invisible HOH week up. He did not. He left us starving. There was no eating of nothing ever. He also represents a horrible twist, invisible HOH. His moves have been to his advantage by accident. There is nothing that this man has sat down, thought through, executed, done properly that moves to his advantage of the game on purpose. My perspective as a viewer, I like to see strategy. I like the social aspect of it. I'll say it again. If I want to see an underdog win competitions back to back to back. Hello, Chris Underwood from the challenge. Thank you. That's what I'll subscribe to for the night. But when I come on Big Brother, I come for the social strategy. That man has no social strategy. He has just one. And I think the issue with that is production, which also represents the season. So while I do think that Jag would be a great representation of the season in those aspects, that's exactly why I don't want him to win. I do not think that that's good play. I do not think, and I want a winner who has good gameplay and represents a season for all of the positive attributes of the season. I can't sit here in good faith and go, if Jag wins the season, I will love it. No, it's going to be a bottom tier winner for me. I don't think he deserves it. It's because of competitions. Now, when he gets a Challenge USA call, I'm going to be on another podcast probably rooting for him. But for right now, in the context of this game, and not everything we have seen transpire, he does not deserve to win. He has done nothing but dumb moves and represented all the dumb twists this season. I'm done. There you go.
Retweet.
Nicole, what you gonna say?
I was just gonna say that.
Season, though, like I'm still stuck on him and the blue of it, because this whole season has really been people throwing away their allies left and right. And part of me
crazy.
Part of me wants to be like, for Jag to still keep targeting blue, there's a world where that makes sense. If you were a good player, of like, of course, blue would not actually really want to work with me after I put her on the block. But somehow he's still wrong, because blue is also just that bad. So it's like, I don't know. I can't even like blame him for that one. But no, he's not a great player. And it's very weird. It's very weird because like he obviously knew at least some form of gameplay that he wanted to go in. And he also was pretty good socially. Like at the beginning, he knew that he could be like the funny guy. Blue, America loved him. Like a lot of people gravitated towards him. And like, just because Riley left, like all of a sudden, like his social game and everything goes out the window. I don't get it. Like he had the tools. It's just very weird to like
get back on his head again because I should have stayed. Because
and this last thing
he fought harder for Riley to stay. He fought harder for Corey not to go on the block than he ever fought for himself. After he was voted out 10-0,
wake it up.
He allowed himself to be pawned the very next week without
didn't say a mumbling word
willingly. Okay. And then his stubbornness, like when Felicia brought him the information this week, he just automatically absorbed it, didn't go check, didn't go ask. And then he knows against better judgment that it was most likely a lie and not true. He still decided to go with it and still, we can't trust her because Felicia did it. And you know she lied. And you know she lying.
Is he a nice version of Christmas?
Like, I just, I can't.
Oh, Lord.
Is he the nice version of Christmas?
No, don't do that to Jack.
Both can win comps, don't play for themselves, bad calls. I don't know.
But on a surface level, I agree with that.
Compare it to Halloween.
But no, Scarecrow don't deserve to win.
So let's move to the last person, which is, in some people's eyes, the front runner, which is Matt. Kayla, what you feel about Matt?
I used to think that Matt would be a front runner going into this game. Lately, I've been a little bit iffy on that just because it does seem like a lot of people are putting competition wins at the forefront once they're coming into the jury. But now that I think about it, I'm starting to think that Matt might have a chance if he is able to cut Jag sometime down the line. I think that he'll have the opportunity to, and if he does it, I think that'll solidify his win for sure.
I agree. I just his passive play these last few weeks have annoyed me to 10th degree. In the fact now that he had a conversation with Siri today when he was like, "Oh yeah, we're not gonna get Jack this week on the double eviction, but the next week if he doesn't win veto, we can backdoor him."
Next week the game over.
Yeah, that's exactly.
The finale is tomorrow.
Yeah, they're like, he's a shield for me. It's like, how is he a shield from?
This is a really bad Final Seven.
A shield from what?
It's you and him at this point. What you gonna do?
This Final Seven is really bad at strategy. It's actually crazy to think about it.
I think Matt has a great chance of winning, but you can kind of see it on a lot of people's faces. You know, when Jack comes back with that 6th win, another veto, everybody has to be thinking like, we got to get this man out, but you can't say it because he's had all of the power. So maybe if something happens during the double eviction, we know he cannot win HOH during the double eviction. If something happens and the double eviction shakes out to the point where they can probably get Jag out, I would hope that these dummies would do it and take him out, especially Matt. Matt is saying that he wants to take him out at Final Four, but that is just so risky when we know that the veto holder is the sole vote. And unless somebody can trick Jag into not being the sole vote, looking at you, Sari, maybe you can get rid of him there, but it's just way too late. These people, I'm really starting to wonder if anybody knows how the actual in game goes, because I don't think they do. I think America does, but she's isolating right now. We know Sari probably don't know. She's like, I watched a few episodes. Jag and Matt saying there's gonna be mental comps. So I don't think people realize how fast this end game is gonna be. Y'all talking about taking people out at Final 3, Final 4, like it just does not happen like that, especially when the person who's winning everything can now play in everything. So I don't know, man. I'm truly, I agree with everything that Josie said. I am not rooting for a Jag win or Matt win, but I'm just like preparing my spirit for Matt and Jag sitting in the final two.
It's now or never at this point. If he don't go into double eviction, I just don't see how he leaves. I don't.
Yeah.
And Matt, but like you said, go ahead.
No, it's okay.
Notice the whole vibe of the podcast has changed when it got to Matt, because it's very passive, just like this segment.
Just like him.
Yeah.
It's like I think he right now, the big thing, if it gets to the end, is I haven't been nominated. Like that alone is like good enough to win. He could be
Bo
like
Jane either.
Bo Jane's not winning. Let's be real. But
she got the same resume. She has the same resume as Matt, if not better. I'm just saying.
Stranger things have happened.
We'll see. But Matt, at least,
he has an
like,
HOH.
Oh my God, Matt, at least, I think if he is successful in his endeavors and he
people like
somehow
Matt.
cuts Jag out,
That's
I think everyone's gonna vote Matt to win at this point. Even
100%.
if he sits next to Jag, I know Farrah thinks differently. I really think that there's a big chance that people are going to have these questions. I think Jag thinks he's doing a lot more than he actually is, and I think Matt's going to have the correct read on the whole situation, because I feel like this jury is going to be more like, what, instead of you telling me what you did, tell me how you contributed, how I contributed to your game. That's what's giving the vibe, especially to people like Cameron and stuff. But ultimately, I think Matt's really a good speaker. I think, pretty privileged, whatever you want to call it. Like, people are going to be
Eric and
I'm crying. I don't know what's going on. But
this is what I will say. First of all, I do think Matt can win the game against Jag. I just feel like it might be risky to go against Jag. Not even might be.
Right.
That is the worst person to go against for Matt.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's the issue, but I still think he can get the votes. Corey said that he does feel like Matt's playing the best game. What I do like about Matt speaking about wanting to target Jag to people in the house, to Sari, is that Sari now knows he wanted to target Jag. He just couldn't. So now it seems better to vote. It seems more, I would feel better voting for him, knowing he at least wanted to do it rather than never knowing at all. So that is what I like about him.
At least he got some sense.
At least
but I'm
speaking about
afraid
it,
though, because his track record showing me that he literally just like drops seeds or whatever, and then he'll just be like, all right, you do it for me, and like I don't want to have to do it. If someone brings up to me, he'll be like, like Jag said that he wanted to do, like, I think he just wants someone to do his dirty work for him.
But that's masterful play if you can own it. Like, I dropped these seeds over here so you can do it, so the blood stays off of my hands.
If he shows intention.
These people can't win comps though. That's my problem.
And that's what you have to.
Sari's style of gameplay too. Sari's not winning comps, but she's been dropping the seeds. The unfortunate part is people aren't really able to see it. So are they going to be able to see it for Matt as well? Who knows?
I think they'll be able to see it from Matt more because Matt is so
see
closely linked to Jag. Yeah, that too. Like a week ago, if you would have asked me a week ago, I would have been like, Matt is the runaway favorite. You know what I'm saying? Like just hands down got it. But with Jag, really like everybody was kind of looking at them at like Matt and Jag are winning comps. We were talking about Matt and Jag, but it's like no. It's Jag winning the comps.
Yeah.
So now Matt's agency, is falling a little bit. So he does need to do something to get that up. But however, if Jag cuts Blue, and Blue goes out on the double eviction, somebody else is going out right after her. So if it's not Jag or Matt, it's going to be either Felicia, America, or Suri. You know what I'm saying? All three of them know that Blue was that initial target the whole week.
Yeah.
So Jag and then Jag turned on America and Corey. Jag's turning on Blue. So Matt is sitting next to Jag in those final two seats. I think it would be enough to justify a bitter jury to give him the win over Matt, because honestly, he could say me and Jag basically collaborated on everything this season. Yeah, he won, but I helped push the moves.
Yeah, or I made him do my dirty work type shit. Like if you say it that way.
Yeah,
you made me think. I think we said it last week when we were talking to Kylan on the pod. Jag stands on like how he's better than people because he doesn't lie and doesn't cheat and do all these things. If Matt can twist it, like you said, you had all this integrity. You said you stood for this, but you
their questions
all these
might be that. They might ask him that a lot of the times. If someone claims integrity, that's the question that gets they ass in the final two. Jag set himself up for failure a little bit with those questions.
So what he thought he was doing was good for him. It may come back to bite him on that back end. So hopefully that's what happens.
That does seem like a lot of people in this jury, they really take. If you would have just told me, if he owns up to it, we gonna see.
Yeah. And also Matt just has a good story. Like if he talks about what it was like being the deaf house guest this season.
I didn't even think about that.
He was left out of like really big groups at the beginning of the season. He was like sticking to people who were leaving. Like Kristen was helping him, and then Riley. And so he's been like kind of floating along, and the whole whispering and he had that conversation with Felicia, like she's gonna want to vote for him at the end. I don't see how you don't at the end of this. So, but I don't know if Matt is the type to actually talk that part up in the speech,
Right, exactly.
And that's why I said it's my articulation.
Articulation.
Articulation. And Josie, last point, and then
I think some of you guys hit a lot of the points that I wanted to mention. I think a problem that a lot of these house guests have is there's no intention or a lot of thought in the moves that they are making. And I think that also comes across with the way they speak to one another and about each other. And I think, because right now we're talking Jag, Matt, final two. I think Jag, he will speak himself off a cliff. Like he will be his worst enemy in the final two speeches. I don't think he takes the time, and who knows, maybe I'll eat my words. I'm okay to admit when I'm wrong. But I don't think he takes the time to really think about what he says or how what he says is a little bit hypocritical. So I think that plays a big part in how he could be perceived if he's sitting beside Matt. I also think that Matt does things, but does he really think about the things that he does enough to acquire that knowledge and speak it in the final two? I'm not entirely sure. And that is my issue, I think, with the final two. I think Felicia and Suri are two people capable of expressing themselves in the way they've come to this point. I think I might even give America a little bit of like that also. I'm not entirely sure. We'll see. But I think she could have that chutzpah, for lack of a better word. But those two in particular, when I see them engage in conversation and talk about game, I just don't see it for them in the cards where we have these final two individuals speak and fight with passion and describe their game and make people want to vote for them. I think in a case scenario with the two of them, I think it has to do with who's less bitter. And I think Matt has not done enough to make people bitter. I think if Matt can take the time to think about his game, and he says, well, first, Jag wouldn't be here if I saved him. Second of all, Jag did everything I wanted to do and got all the blood on his hand. All of you guys feel some type of way, but I kept and had good relationships with all of you. Even though Matt was talking some shit the last few weeks I've been watching and tuning into the live feeds. So I think those are good things that can come to his advantage. But will he think about those things and speak about it in a way that's so eloquently done that people are like, absolutely, you deserve my vote? I don't think I can put too much stock in that. I would love to see it. And again, he and Jag would be great representation outside of gameplay because they represent communities that haven't been seen. But I can only speak on the gameplay and the fighting for wanting this game that all of us love, whether we can complain about it all we want, but we love this game. And so do they have that oomph to really push and sail those points? I don't think so. I think it's going to be more so how they maybe answer a question or two or what people value. I value social game, but I think this jury is going to value comps. And so if Mag can get rid of Jag, win more competitions, because I think he's the next in line, unless it's like an actual like comp where you have to really think about it. No offense to Matt, but he hasn't excelled in that. I think that he has a good chance to win.
All right. And that's it. That's all the players. You know, I had so many questions. I'm like, you know what? This will be fine. So I think this is a good place to stop. First and foremost,
we'll be all night.
But first and foremost, I appreciate every single last person for coming in here. Obviously, I'll give you all a chance to plug stuff. Shout out to Tiffany, Derek. Check out the Royalty Podcast. I saw they just did something with Reality Kingdom, so check that out. Check out Realness. Like I said, she had work tonight, unfortunately, but shout out Chantel. And shout out Chappelle. He's doing 1,000 things at Rob as a podcast. Okay. Mari, thank you so much for coming. What you doing and where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Mari Talks Too Much, 2 like the number 2, just baiting people apparently. But also you can find me and Chappelle over on the Connect on post show recaps, where we're recapping some prestige Black television. So we just wrapped up the Changeling coverage. We wrapped up the other Black girl coverage, and we are going into coverage of Rap Shit in a few weeks. So if you love any of those shows, go follow us over on the Connect by going to postshowrecaps.com/connect. Subscribe at Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your shows, and you can follow us there. You can also go back and listen to our coverage of Atlanta, Insecure, and Swarm. So we've really been like doing it up over there. So go check that out. And that's it. Yeah.
All right. Kayla, where can people find you? What you getting into?
You can find me on YouTube. I make live feed update videos pretty much every other day covering what's going on in the house. I try to keep it short, sweet, to the point, and I always include clips from the live feeds. So you can check me out there at Kayla Fro. That is KAYLAFRO.
All right. Nicole, how about you?
Yeah, so on Black by Reality, I'm still doing exit interviews. The jury comes pre-recorded, so I'm not asking the questions anymore, but I do submit some.
It's a pain in the butt.
It is. So if you want any of that, check that out there. I'm gonna try, I think, get more former house guests. I recently talked to Izzy for the second time around, and that was a very fun conversation. On the channel, we also do TV to table. Sometimes I cook things from what I see on TV with my partner who loves cooking. I have been like toying with doing slop recipes and just have been putting it off. I even asked Izzy, and Izzy's like, I never made slop. And I'm like, okay. But other than that, I am also a writer. So I'm writing for Collider. I write about Big Brother. I do write about things that happen on the live feeds to try and keep fans up to date on that. I write about Love is Blind and House of Villains. So you can check me out there too. Black by Reality across all socials.
All right. Thanks, Nicole. Tracy.
You can follow me on Twitter at TreacyJ.com. I'm your favorite member of A Who Are Gonna Be There podcast. I don't remember anything, so I'm gonna switch it on over to Eric, and he will tell you where you can find us.
First of all, y'all at Davis, not no TreacyJ.com. It's just actress. But you can find me on Twitter at Rock, the letter N, Rollerson, ROLLERSON. And you can find our podcast at Who All there on both Twitter and IG if you're on Instagram. And of course on YouTube at Who All Gonna Be There podcast.
All right.
There you go. That's where you can find me too.
Pharaoh.
Yes, y'all can find me on Twitter at BBPharaoh if you want to hear my hot takes. And then for some hotter takes, you can follow me on YouTube, subscribe for my podcast, The Reality Kingdom. We cover a bunch of shows, Big Brother, Survivor, The Challenge, all of that, girl. I'll get into it, period.
All right, hopefully we can get Lee next time, too. Hopefully he had to work. Charlie.
He was ducking us this time, I'm sure. With
he was literally at work with his
Josie.
Thank you for all being here. Thank you for having me. It was such an honor and a pleasure to be amongst such great Black excellence. You guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at JosianeXNM, JosianeXNM. I tweet my hot takes and my thoughts on reality TV shows. I'm also on Silent Podcast. I'm a part of the Bashak's crew, so we cover Big Brother. I'm also doing the challenge. The finale just ended, so we are going to cover the season and our thoughts as a whole. Me and Katie always have some hot thoughts on the challenge, so tune into that. I am also launching my YouTube channel. I talked about it previously when I did the behind the scenes of the Big Brother Canada finale, but I'm launching it to cover different TV shows. So I'm going to be recapping or visiting for the first time Laguna Beach, and I'm also going to be talking about The Devil's Plan on Netflix. So check that out.
All right. And like usual, first and foremost, if you see on the screen, you guys can see it. But if you like what you hear, 5 stars only. If you don't like it, don't rate it at all. Wait till you hear something that you do like. Okay.
There you go.
Like, comment, subscribe. Check me out at 8 Ball Bangers on all social media platforms per usual. As Josie said, Bounce Checks Friday, talking about Big Brother. Got 3 weeks left. We got some Big Brother Canada stuff coming soon, so that's always fun. And before this stream, me and Sasha actually talked about House of Villains episodes 1 and 2. A very fun time to talk crap with Sasha. She's messy, so check that out. And yeah, this is the first BB Blackout. Hopefully we can do more of these in the future. One like once a season. Listen, if y'all are ever interested in like hosting it on y'all channel, so like we can let me know. You know what I'm saying? No, I don't mind, but I like share the love. You know what I'm saying? But until next time, have a good one.